Well, it brings me great pleasure to introduce our next guest. As for many of you at home, the unique site www.tripatourium.com brings back some rather interesting memories and flashes from the past. Right now, this hot site, Tripatourium.com, is the world leader in blotter art sales. Now, you may ask, what is blotter art? Well, it's a form of folk art that is fast becoming a very popular and highly collectible art. With us to tell us more about blotter art is the company's president, Alex Pearlstein. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here. Now, tell us a little bit, what exactly is blotter art?
Blotter art itself is an art genre where the art has been perforated into little quarter-inch squares. Okay. It comes in different sizes, whether it be 8 inches by 8 inches or 7.5 by 7.5, but the current theme through it is the perforation into the paper.
Perforation. And where does blotter art originate from, for people that don't know at home? Some of us know, some of us don't.
In the early 60s, as LSD started to distribute across the United States, different scientists would put, or chemists would put images on the blotter art so they could identify their batch. It's kind of like trademarking.
Right.
So as it spread out and people would, you know, say, oh, stay away from the brown acid, or
yeah,
we
the
have
bad
to
stuff, exactly.
find the gold keys.
Yeah.
It just became a folk art form of its own and just grew from that and just kept taking on a life of its own.
That's pretty cool. Now tell me, I would assume this is 100% legal. We're not buying artwork that has LSD on it, so you folks at home don't get any funny ideas now.
You are correct. This is what's called vanity blotter art. It was never had any street credibility. It was made purely for the art form.
For the art form.
It's all done on museum quality archival paper and uses archival inks, and everything's accompanied by a certificate of authenticity.
Now I know why I'm drawn to blotter art, but why are other people? I mean, like everybody's got their reasons, right? For being drawn.
Definitely. There are 3 different reasons why people are drawn to blotter art. Either they're a blotter art collector themselves and they just love the genre, or it's the imagery or the artist that draws them to it. A lot of people just really need to have pieces by a specific artist, and then it's the images themselves that speak to people sometimes.
They collect all of them. Now, let's take a look at some pieces you brought. We've been showing some throughout the interview, but there's one in specific is flying off the shelves. Tell us about this one.
This is Harmonic Concordance by Carrie Thompson.
Okay.
And it's a representation of the planetary alignment that happened back in 2000.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing piece because blotter art's meant to be looked at a square inch at a time. So there's a lot of great detail in there, and it just speaks to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's very colorful. That's something else I noticed about these pieces. I would think anybody could enjoy a piece of blotter art if it speaks to them color-wise as well. Wouldn't you think? You know, colors are very important.
Definitely.
People, I mean, if it matches the house and it's cool looking, wow.
And when you have a piece of blotter art hanging on your wall, your conversations can take these odd little turns.
Yeah, because it probably reminds people of a lot of different stuff. Now, as far as how many pieces, like what's the price range starting at, going all the way up to?
We have our art comes in 2 formats. It comes in a signed and an unsigned version. All the unsigned pieces sell for $25, and the signed pieces we treat more like stock. There's an opening price, and then as they sell and the demand increases and our inventory reduces, it reflects that our website recalculates the price to reflect the fair market value, and it keeps dynamically increasing it until it reaches $200. That way we show the fair value for it, but it's still within reach of the average collector.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure meeting you. Okay, folks, so to get your piece of history in the form of blotter art, simply visit www.tripatourium.com. You can also call them at 781-944-3434. Be sure to visit them today.